Predator Badlands is a relationship story, according to Dan Trachtenberg, the director. In a new preview for Empire Magazine's upcoming November issue, director Dan Trachtenberg further elaborated on what he was going for with Predator Badlands. While Trachtenberg admits the natural inclination following the success of his last live-action Predator film Prey would be to deliver an immediate follow-up. He wanted something entirely new instead. This is actually something that I like. Oh, also credits for AVP Galaxy for the news in regards to this. And well, I have like some mixed feelings about Dan ideas, but I think I'm mostly against what he's like mostly doing. You know, I would say that's probably gonna be my overall opinion. Like that, I like that he decided to not do a sequel to Prey because I don't care about Narrow. Like, and the idea of Badlands appears to be much more interesting than anything that could be done in like the Prey setting. However, other of his ideas I think are just weird and don't really fit on the Predator lore that we have seen from the original movies. He also spoke on how Prey was a sole survivor-focused story. Badlands' heart centers on its relationship between the Predator deck and Android Taya. So yeah, relationship story. They're gonna be like besties, which I think that this dynamic between like you have like this character that is like an anti-hero, violent, a bad guy, and a character that is like funny and silly. And they have to, I don't know why. I just reminded like of Berserk. Anyone read the manga Berserk? And then you have Guts with the black swordsman that is like anti-hero, violent guy, depressive guy, like a I mean, when we see like the start of the manga, he's just in one of his worst moments mentally. But well, he finds up like this little elf, like it's like almost like a fairy elf. I don't know, like just silly, making jokes. It's like a funny dynamic, which is entertaining. I guess that's why they're trying to go with this. Brett Deck from what I saw for his personality. I think his personality is much better than his design. His design is terrible, but his personality, like the way that he talking, we saw him talking in the trailer, the way that we saw him talking in the trailer, and the way that he was mostly behaving, and from what I read about what he's like gonna be doing, like his goals, like his objectives, it's interesting. So there's gonna be this dynamic. I think Predator Dak is gonna be like mostly in a bad mood, angry about everything that is happening to him, and Ty is gonna be trying to cheer him up. The issue is always comes to how much the humanization of the predators can happen, and I think that's like a little inevitable when you're dealing with the human predator team up because in every single one there was some humanization. Scar, I mean, with Lex, I think was one of the worst ones. But I mean, at least Scar wasn't really talking to her like voice wise, and I don't know, like it was just like a silly thing up. In the original AVP comic, you have Makiko together with Broken Tusk. They had like a better relationship, but I don't know, like I still don't think that was like the best portrayal. I would say Galgo and Ahab from the Fire and Stone comics, that one was actually better because it was I don't know, I just kind of felt more like it had some funny moments, but the way that they behaved with each other, you just felt like better story wise. All the Predator and Alien team ups, I mean, from comics, which saw like that. I mean, I think the Royce and the Crucified could have like have a great team up to fight Mr. Black together, but they kind of wasted that on the movie. So, but this is like a different case because we're talking about an android, which is not even like a combat. Like she's probably gonna be helping more him with information and like I don't know, like technology, rather than like helping him like shoot aliens like Makiko did with Broken Tusk. We immediately think Prey 2, but with sequels, people sometimes get so caught up going, this could happen next. But they never stop to think, should it happen next? Prey was special because it was this big idea that hadn't existed before. I mean, the idea of like putting Predator in like a past setting, I mean, I think was thought for me. I think some of the comics, I think there are probably comics in that timeline as well. I wanted the next thing to be that too. With a killer concept in mind, we follow Yaocha run deck on an epic monster hunt with the upper torso of a Wayland and a synthetic Taya. So she's really is gonna be like just the torso of the entire movie. Strapped to his back, he had to lean into every opportunity offered. In general, I'm always looking for what could happen only in this movie. The result is, he says, a kind of buddy comedy. A shift from his previous live action entry due to the pairing of Deck and Taya. Ray was a solo survival tale. This is a relationship story. As part of the preview, we also have an image from the film feature elephant character. Oh man, she's like hugging him, and like look at his face. I mean, okay, you're so ugly, Dak. You're just so goddamn ugly, dude. Such a terrible design. And she's hugging him, and he's like, he's with the eyes like, why is this woman like holding me? Like, why does she have her arms around me like that? That's weird. Like, the Predator just feels like this is just funny for me, you know. I just can't take like something like this so seriously, you know. I hope the movie is good, you know. I really hope so. I really hope I have a good time because this movie is gonna be coming out almost like on my birthday, so I'll probably watch it on my birthday. So don't disappoint me too much. Reckenberg again talked his inspiration for Badlands, bringing up adventure films worked on by famous special effects pioneers. He also spoke about maintaining predator-like altitude for Deck. That's important, even with him being a protagonist. But yeah, this feels like an adventure movie, like those epics who have like a bunch of like a couple, almost like a couple, like that goes into adventure. You know, kind of feels like it just doesn't feel like the usual Predator formula for sure. It's like Ray Harryhausen movie. Don't know who that is. This crazy adventure against monster and the elements. Only this time, it's a badass predator against those things. We wanted that to be relatable, but without turning him to Luke Skywalker. I mean, it kind of feel like he's going to the character arc of being like the Padawan, going to to become a master. And I mean, you guys kind of made the antagonist Predator that Deck's gonna be fighting in the end kind of look a little bit like Darth Vader. So you cannot really blame anyone for comparing Deck to Luke Skywalker. He's still a Predator. We had to allow him to be a dick, but a dick you can root for. That's good. That's good. I'll give him credit. Maybe in regards to the personality, he's not gonna fuck everything up. I don't want to see Dak like talking like a human with tie and making jokes and like being too humanized. You know, he's still a predator. Like even if it's supposed to be a runt, a young predator, he's still a predator. Well, this was the latest news in regards to Predator Badlands. We only have yeah, it's like less than 2 months, 1 month and a few weeks until the movie comes out.